Roboriders. It's a theme that often gets forgotten, but it is still a really important theme with some pretty good sets. And today I want to talk about this incredible theme. And we're also going to discuss its role in making Bionicle a legendary theme, because it did play a part. And we're going to do all of this by talking about the fantastic set, Lava, the cool red dude. Everyone always loves the red one. Let's dive in. So in the year 2000, the development process for Bionicle was taking a bit longer than expected. So they decided to release a kind of like placeholder theme. Yeah, the idea was that they would give the kids some cool new toys to kind of fill out the blank space before Bionicle hit the shelves in 2001. And that filler theme was Roboriders. It featured these robotic racer characters, each one with some kind of like elemental power. The intention of these sets was to make them like impulse buys, make them cheap. And the kind of like concept of the theme was something that was explored in other themes. You create it, and then you race the toy. It's a pretty simple but effective way of playing with your sets. So there wasn't really much story with Roboriders. Basically they raced in obstacle courses and they were overseen by the Robomaster. That's kind of it. And Lava, the character that we're going to be talking about today, well, there wasn't much to him either. He lived in the magma realm, and he fought lava monsters, and he can swing his fire axes, but that's kind of it. I mean, it is quite a novel concept, and I bought basically all of the sets as a kid. I thought they were great. But the theme only lasted a year, and then it discontinued. And then of course Bionicle replaced it, and well, that was a much better theme. And it certainly seems like Bionicle learnt its lesson from Roboriders. Instead of naming your characters a boring name like Lava, they need exciting names and more rich storytelling and backstories. Bionicle did that, and they did it well. Honestly, probably the best part of Bionicle was the storytelling. So I'm sure that LEGO learnt all sorts of lessons from these sets. Whether it's the stuff that made the set sell, or the things that just didn't work. They took the lessons from Roboriders and they injected it into Bionicle. And doing so made it the best theme that it could be. The filler theme of Roboriders did a great job of teasing and testing the market, and getting them ready for Bionicle. You give them just enough to make them want more. I mean, I felt that way as a kid. I got everything I needed out of Roboriders, and then, well, I wanted more. But I wanted something better. And yeah, that was Bionicle. This short-lived theme walked, so that Bionicle could run. But come on, let's take a closer look at Lava and see how good he really is. The character has this awesome dynamic energy to him. With his axes forward like this, he has this great sense of forward motion and speed. And then his axes back, he looks ready for action and hungry for battle. Okay, yeah, I just spoiled the play feature. You can pull it back and forth, and it lets you swing the axes up and down, which honestly is a lot of fun. However, the axes are actually a little bit sharp, and when they fall right on your hand, yeah, it kind of hurts. I'm surprised that made it past quality control. I'm sure for a kid that would hurt way more than it does for me. Now, speaking of quality control, the printing on Lava's face is odd. You can see it here, it has this kind of strange pixelated look. The actual design itself does look cool, sharp eyes, those engine details, and he's even got his name on the back. Why? A little bit weird, but okay. Still, other than that, yeah, it looks good. I don't know. It looks like it was a deliberate choice to make it look this pixelated. I wonder why they did that. There's another play feature though. You can start off by pushing this front wheel forward. Then from here you kind of peel it open, and now pull it back, and you're able to launch the wheel forward, like a projectile. That's fun. And the wheels, they had all sorts of different imagery on them. These were kind of like a collectible gimmick at the time. You buy more than one set, and you get different wheel variants, which is alright. I kinda like these little dudes. The designs are pretty sick. I almost wish that these guys actually became sets. I would have totally bought them. Anyway, look, the design itself is simple, doesn't use a lot of pieces, but he's cool. A robot motorcycle thing with battle axes and a red color scheme? I'm sold. Now hey, why don't we check out the pieces that come in this set and see how you can use them on your own creations. Let's begin with these wheels. Bonkarella uses them nicely for some side leg armor. It's kind of a neat way of rounding things off and armoring up the sides. I think it looks good, very effective. Redverse also uses this piece for some bike wheels. I think they look even better when you put a bit of rubber on the edges. Maybe you could do the same. We also get this strange looking wheel holder, which at first glance is a downright strange Lego piece. But see, Jack the Mad, they've placed this on the front of this speeder bike. Yeah, this piece has a lot of flexibility to it. And now you can give your speeder bike some sweet curves. Oh yeah. You also get a couple of these Technic pieces as well. Bonkarella uses some of them here on the foot design. Thanks to these pieces, you're able to branch off some posable toes on the end of this hand socket. Okay, yeah, sure, it's a pretty boring Lego piece, but that doesn't mean that it's not very, very helpful. It's always good to have more of these. I also like this red element. Check out how Renouf has used it here for this upper leg. Two of them together like this with a few pieces in the middle. That's a good look. Now for that sweet headpiece. Obliviomox places it on the torso on this creation. Okay, so this is one that doesn't have any printing. You could remove the printing if you wanted to, or you can buy the version that just doesn't come printed. But either way, it looks pretty good on the torso. But you could also use this for the foundation of a spaceship, just like Mucus Drizzle. Having a sick printed head that has Technic connections at the bottom is so helpful. It's so easy to put this on any mock, and it's gonna look good. Alright, changing it up a bit. What about the canister for the set? How could you use that in a mock? Well, brazybonkles, they've used a canister on this mock. Technically it's a different canister, but you could still use the Roborider canister, it would be the same thing, basically. The idea is that it's a spider that's made its home inside one of the canisters. Specifically, it's one of the canisters that the Toa washed up onto shore inside of. This is a cool idea. It kind of reminds me of hermit crabs. Their shells are often, well, shells, but sometimes they'll turn random objects into their shells. I guess this spider has done the same thing. It's cute, isn't it? And it's certainly a very creative way of using this piece. Alright, let's finish up the review by taking a look at some revamps of Lava. I love Jim Kremastis's take on this set. It's a very similar design visually, but now we have some sweet kind of quality of life improvements. Yeah, like a kickstand on the edge. There are other Roboriders sets that only have 2 wheels, unlike Lava. And I tell you what, they could benefit from a kickstand, that's for sure. I also like the redesigned face. No printed parts, just 2 blue Borok eyes. It looks good. And yeah, dude, this mock has it all. Big blasters, a hook weapon, and some tubing and like engine details on the back. Yeah, increasing the firepower, adding in more stuff. It works. And then take a look at Kizal Build's revamp. He's no longer a bike, he's a dude. And yo, I love the idea of making the Roboriders a little bit more robo and less rider. But you know, he still has wheels on his legs, so he still maintains the original idea. Oh, but can you imagine? Transforming Roboriders. They start off as bikes and they turn into robots. That'd be sick. And take a look at the booster engines on the back, and the wheel on the chest, and the giant axe as well. I just adore how much this creation is taking the original ideas, but breathing so much new life into them. This feels so exciting and fresh. This is great. So, Roboriders. An underappreciated theme with a few sweet pieces. It had good ideas and great concepts. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you want to see more mocks like the ones I showed you today, then take a look at the links below. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now. Let me crack open this Roborider canister.